So we're building toward that bold vision for the next 100 years. So with that, it's my pleasure to introduce the Virginia Tech President, Tim Sands.
Thank you, Brandy, and thanks for everyone for being here this morning. I especially want to acknowledge Alexandria Mayor Justin Wilson, and right here, and Stephanie Landrum, also in the front row, President of the Alexandria Economic Development Partnership, and Stephen Murray. Where's Stephen? Right? Oh, there he is. President of the Virginia Economic Development Partnership. Without any of these individuals, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you for setting us up for this great announcement and this future vision that I think is really exciting. I'm pleased to have them with everybody here this morning as we officially announce that Virginia Tech's Innovation Campus will have an Alexandria address. It will be located here in National Landing on 15 acres that you can see from the windows of this building. It's a little bit foggy today and rainy, but I think you can see the incredible location that we have here today. Today's an important milestone for Virginia Tech and for the Commonwealth to move forward to meet the tech talent need. We have the right people, the right time, and this is certainly the right place. This acreage that you can see out the window will soon be filled with 1 million square feet for classrooms and research incubator space, offices for industry partners, and an event venue for 60,000 Northern Virginia alumni, a number that will grow in the near future. We'll also have retail and open spaces. We plan to integrate the campus into the fabric of Alexandria and to be part of the energy and spirit that makes this community successful and unique. We also feel very fortunate to have found a great partner in Lionstone Group. They've worked on a number of other really exciting projects nationally, and many are focused on mixed-use communities where there's a concentration of talent. Limestone President Jane Page is here with us today. Jane, thank you for seeing the potential in Virginia Tech's vision for the Innovation Campus and in working with us to make it a reality. National Landing is the physical manifestation of the shared vision we have for the Innovation Campus. It's truly the perfect place for our vision to unfold, strategically located in a growing innovation district. In close proximity to transportation, the new Amazon headquarters, and other potential partners in industry, research, and government. And speaking of great partners, I want to acknowledge Senator Mark Warner. The ongoing commitment of Virginia Tech's leaders, including Mark, to advance the interests of the Commonwealth laid the groundwork that made it possible for us to be here today. Senator Warner has been working to advance the interests of Virginia for decades in a variety of public and private roles. He knows the Commonwealth and Northern Virginia well, and he truly understands the potential of our collective vision to establish this region as a global nexus of technology, talent, and innovation. Please welcome Senator Mark Warner.
Well, thank you, Tim. Thank you for that introduction. Thank you for your vision. I think this is an extraordinarily exciting day for Virginia Tech, for Alexandria, for Northern Virginia. For me personally, this is my second most exciting and memorable action I've taken with Virginia Tech. This is second only to when I was able as governor to get the Hokies into the ACC. So that was fairly ended up being a good long-term investment, and I think as well the Innovation Campus here in Alexandria will be equally as successful. This is also deeply personal to me as somebody who grew up as a technology entrepreneur. The one thing I think we've always lacked in Northern Virginia, we've got great other educational institutions all around the national capital area, but we have not had the world-class research facility that the Innovation Campus will produce. It's deeply personal to me as the U.S. Senator from Virginia because it is terribly important, and what Stephen has done from the Commonwealth with the over $250 million investment from the state, coupled with what Virginia Tech was going to do on its own, will be able to create close to $1 billion investment here over the coming decades. That kind of research capability, as we think about where we're headed in this global economy around cybersecurity, around artificial intelligence, around quantum computing, a host of areas where right now I see competition candidly coming from abroad, particularly countries like China. The innovation that will be created on this campus will be a great benefit for the whole Commonwealth and for the whole nation. And finally, this is personal to me as an Alexandria resident, trying to make sure that this campus gets it right, that Virginia Tech, coupled with the movement of Amazon right next door in Arlington, it's going to be critical that that these projects move forward in a way that also takes into consideration the local community. So making sure that we have levels of affordable housing, making sure that we have a partnership with our local school divisions are going to be some of the things that I'm going to look forward to helping, nudging, urging Virginia Tech to continue that commitment. So great day for Virginia Tech, great day for Northern Virginia, great day for the Commonwealth. And with that, let me bring up my mayor, the great mayor of Alexandria, Justin Wilson.
Good morning. Thank you, Senator Warner. And when that infrastructure bill gets passed, we will fix the potholes. I promise you. We are really excited about that. Thank you all for being here today. I do want to recognize some additional folks who are here. One of my colleagues from the City Council, Councilwoman Amy Jackson, is right over here. We have our City Manager Mark Jinks. Senator Warner talked about the important partnerships that's necessary at the K through 12 level, and we do have our school board chair, Cindy Anderson, sitting right over here. You know, this is a great way to start a Monday, and I'm certainly honored to serve as the city's mayor at a really exciting time, when we're able to look at so much opportunity and investment and growth in our future. On behalf of all of my colleagues in the city, on the City Council, we are very excited to be here this morning to be a part of this announcement. Today, you're hearing about the culmination of months of hard work that followed that announcement back in November. We learned in November that our friends in Arlington were going to get a new commercial tenant, and while Amazon's announcement bringing that investment to National Landing was certainly exciting and was the biggest real estate news of the decade, we believe that the second announcement that was made that day was enormously exciting and is one that is going to shape this area of our city for generations. One of Amazon's biggest criteria, clearly, in their process was selecting a site that was proximate to talent. They were looking to make sure that they would have the people that they could hire and staff in the future, as well as developing a pipeline that would continue to churn out qualified folks to work for Amazon and all the companies in the ecosystem that they were hoping to create in this area. Knowing this, Virginia Tech's Innovation Campus was a key part of the investment package that was put forth by the Commonwealth. It is one of the key reasons Amazon ultimately chose National Landing. Ultimately, and this will be a disappointment to the communications folks here, press releases and press conferences don't actually make things happen. It's the hard work that ultimately goes in to making a campus like this come to fruition, and that's been happening over the last 6 months. Our economic development team, led by the intrepid Stephanie Landrum, right up here, have been working their tails off along with our planning folks and a variety of different city agencies, partnering with Virginia Tech to make this campus a reality. Having this campus located in the Potomac Yard section of National Landing is really a dream imagined. For some of the folks in this room, we've been working on this area of the city for a quarter of a century in trying to bring this area to fruition, and this is exactly what we envisioned for this fast-growing area of our city. Strengthening this partnership between Virginia Tech and Alexandria has been a rewarding benefit of the HQ2 pursuit, and we look forward to continuing that partnership over the next 100 years as this campus comes to fruition. I want to congratulate Virginia Tech, I want to congratulate Lionstone, and most importantly, congratulate the City of Alexandria on this incredible announcement today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Wilson. And thank you and for all of your leadership today as well. We are pleased to be here in Alexandria and to be working with you, of course, Stephanie Landrum, the City of Alexandria, to make this Innovation Campus a reality. Hello, I'm Charlie Fligger, Vice President for Advancement at Virginia Tech and a member of the Innovation Campus Executive Team. I want to share just a few brief comments about our new partners, Limestone Investments. From the first conversation we had with the team, many of whom are here today, we knew we had a first-class partner and an ideal site for the Innovation Campus. As you can imagine, getting to today took extraordinary commitment on both sides to develop a plan and to do what was right for the Commonwealth of Virginia. We are grateful for the partnership that Bailey Jones and the Limestone team has brought to the table. It is now my pleasure to introduce Jane Page as president of Limestone Investments. Jane leads the firm's strategy and manages its real estate investing. With her leadership, we have an extraordinary physical location at which to house our visionary campus. Welcome, Jane.
Thank you, Charlie, President Sands, Brandy, and the entire Virginia Tech team, also Senator Warren and Mayor Wilson. We're just delighted to be here, and we're delighted to be a part of this amazing partnership for the Innovation Campus of Alexandria. I also want to thank a very important team for us, and that is our local partner, JBG Smith. And so I do want to recognize them. If you would just stand or raise your hand, Matt Kelly, Andy Van Horn, and Ed Chaglazian. They have been a partner with Lionstone in helping us bring the Innovation Campus here, specifically to Potomac Yards, but have been instrumental in clearing the path with the city and city approvals for the development of this site. So we really appreciate your partnership with us. And I know that Bailey's been acknowledged, but I do want to thank the hard work of our Lionstone staff, Bailey Jones and John Schaefer, who are here with us today. For those who may not be familiar with Lionstone Investments, we are a data-driven real estate investment firm that specializes in investing in U.S. locations that are concentrated with highly productive people. We use sophisticated analytical tools that help us generate insights into where the highest concentration of growth and talent in the United States economy thrive. And we are looking at a place, and we are in a place where we believe that growth and talent are here, and that this is going to be a spot where we can grow it, and it will become even more vibrant and be able to satisfy the needs of what is happening and how this area is growing. So we envision this partnership in helping create a vibrant and diverse mixed-use community, one that has best-in-class living, working, playing, and now most importantly, education. So as a long-term stakeholder in this community, we look forward to transforming this area into a leading center for tech innovation on the East Coast, where economic viability and technology can intersect and thrive. So thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Marco Zarski. I'm from Virginia Tech as well. And a couple of things. We're going to take some questions and answers from the media, and Dawn Jeffries in the back will be passing around a microphone. Also want to make two more introductions. We have Senator Adam Ebbin here as well as part of us, so thank you for being here. And we also have School Superintendent Dr. Gregory Hutchings here as well, so we wanted to recognize you. Right after the Q&A, we'll be able to step outside on the patio in between raindrops if you would like to get a better visual of the location of what we're talking about today. But with that, I'd like to open it up for questions, and our folks here will take questions. Our speakers will come forward and answer any questions you have. And because we're live streaming, we need the microphone, so Dawn will have the microphone for any questions that are in the back. Do we have any questions? Come on up, folks.
Tim Barber with ABC 7 News. I was just wondering, this is a major shift in the plan from the 20-acre site. When did you guys decide that this was a necessity? And is it going to slow down the building of this new facility?
Well, a couple of months ago, we recognized the opportunity here and the larger footprint that would be possible here with 65 acres. The previous site we looked at is a great site and will be a fantastic development going forward, but it was kind of landlocked in the sense of not being able to bring in partners at the density we'd like to. So from a Virginia Tech perspective, this site, with its proximity to the metro station, the new metro station, and the ability to bring partners and the diversity of the neighborhood just stood out. So I think we're very fortunate that that site was available, and we're really excited with our partners to get this thing started.
Let me just add one thing on that, too. I think one of the things is the other site was interesting, but this offers the opportunity to be world-class. And I think the one thing that all of us who've been supportive of this effort is to, frankly, think as big and as broad a vision as you can. And the 15 acres in this particular location, the ability to then to kind of leverage some of that adjacent property, I think this is the kind of world-class facility that we're all hoping for.
And so what about the timetable? Did it shift forward at all?
So on behalf of the city, we go through a very normal process of engagement with our community when we talk about changing plans. This site and the previous site, we had already been discussing how we were going to engage with the community. So they're very similar and parallel in timing. Over the next probably 30 days, we'll be in touch with the greater community to kind of lay out a timeline over the next 6 months where we will revisit the plan and decide on any changes that need to happen.
Senator Warner, you said you wanted to make sure this campus gets it right. You also mentioned affordable housing, and that's, of course, something that's been a concern since the Amazon announcement to try to keep the numbers of homeless people that we've seen out west grow, to try to manage that. What are your ideas about, as campus is growing here? We all know college students aren't going to be able to afford a lot of big, expensive real estate. So what are your plans to make sure we have affordable housing and make this place a place where people can live?
So obviously in Oakville Triangle, we had planned a significant affordable housing component. We have the same thing planned in North Potomac Yard. And so we had always envisioned that the development in both sides of Route 1 will include affordable housing and will include contributions for affordable housing. An important part of the Commonwealth's incentive package as part of this attraction of Amazon included a significant contribution from VHDA, Virginia Housing Development, to create additional affordable housing in the impacted areas. So that went along with new local investments, both from Arlington and Alexandria, to create additional affordable housing. So we recognize that affordability and protecting affordability is an important part of the work that we have to do. These are conditions that existed prior to Amazon coming to this area, and these are conditions that would exist regardless of whether this was happening. But it does shine a light on it, and it was able to get us some additional state investment to make that happen. And so I think we have a lot of partnership to do. It's a big issue. It's one that's not going to be solved by this project, but we believe this will help us advance some of that.
Pat Sullivan, Washington Post. Last night, an interfaith group called Voice asked the mayor of Alexandria and the chairman of the board of Arlington to commit to not only providing money for affordable housing, but also for education. Now, Virginia Tech campus is a graduate campus, of course, but what kind of commitment does Virginia Tech have to get some of the K-12 students on the road to, science, engineering, technology?
Yes, the campus here will be primarily a graduate campus. It will also have an undergraduate component because we'll have undergraduate interns rotating through and spending part of their education time here in Alexandria. But the K through 12 partnership's really critical to Virginia Tech. We look at the whole pathway from pre-K on, and we take some responsibility for that. And one of the wonderful things about the announcement we made in November is that the local K through 12 community came and really celebrated with us, and we started those conversations. Now we'll be able to begin them in earnest, and we're looking forward to having those conversations, because it's absolutely critical that we think of this as a pathway and not just an endpoint. And the relationships we'll have with K through 12, I think, will be part of the success of this project.
Yeah, and I would echo Dr. Sands. I mean, we find this as one of the most exciting parts of this effort, the ability to partner between a world-class higher education institution and our Alexandria City Public Schools, as well as partnering with Arlington. We see this as a really critical piece of this. I remember at the announcement in November, Dr. Sands talked about the obligation that Virginia Tech has as a land-grant university, in particular around diversifying the tech graduates, and certainly what we do in Alexandria with 62% free and reduced lunch and 30% plus English language learners presents an excellent opportunity to help them achieve their goals and help us achieve ours. So we're excited about that partnership.
Hi, Julie Carey from NBC4. A lot of Alexandria residents and those from the community beyond rely on this retail center for a lot of their shopping. So what's the future look like for that? Are some of those stores staying? Is that eventually all going away?
So back 20 plus years ago now, when the shopping center was originally approved, we all said it was an interim use. We always envisioned the shopping center as redeveloping at some point. That was called for in all of the plans that we've done for Potomac Yard. If you look at the way we are financing Metro at Potomac Yard, a big portion of that is assuming significant density on the shopping center site, the north part of Potomac Yard. And so we had always envisioned this area redeveloping. It is the way we are financing Metro, and so this helps achieve that vision. Ultimately, obviously, landowners are going to make decisions about the future of the site, but the planning process assumed that those sites would redevelop. I'll allow them to talk about that.
So as the mayor mentioned, I mean, the site has an interesting history in that it was always anticipated that one day a higher and better use would exist for the site. Ultimately, and these are plans that have been in the works and we've been working on for close to 7 years. The entire 65 acres is slated to be replaced with about 7.5 million square feet of development. And so you can anticipate while the single-story retail would eventually go away, it would be replaced by a equally significant ground floor retail component that would provide those local services and amenities to the community.
Hi, Justin Finch from News 4. Picking up on the educational partnerships here, are there any early indications what that might look like? Any on-campus trips or for students in K through 12? Will they go out to the classrooms where students are, do you think?
I'm hoping it involves early admission for my 14-year-old, but if they'll take them now, that would be great. No, I think obviously those conversations are very, very early, and I think since November there have been a lot of conversations between our schools and Virginia Tech. I know those will continue now that we have kind of locked in a site and we're able to get past that part of the process. I don't think they're at a point where they're going to be able to talk specifics at this point, but there is enormous opportunity there, and I think we're going to be working hard in partnership with both the schools and Virginia Tech, as well as our neighbors in Arlington, to bring those to fruition. So. And also get my son out of the house. So,
I could just add one point. Virginia Tech's been in Northern Virginia for 50 years now, and people think of it as graduate degrees and a few of the equine medical center, architecture. But we've also been involved with the K through 12 system. Recently, we opened up Think a Bit Labs, a Qualcomm partnership in Fairfax and Falls Church, and that has seen thousands of K through 12 students come through. The makers space and Think a Bit Lab. So we don't know what the future will hold for this site yet, but it'll be big.
Go ahead.
Jonathan Capriel, Washington Business Journal. Does this affect the incentives from the state at all, the change of location? None? Okay.
Does this change your, the city's projections on how much money that this property will bring into the city in terms of tax revenue?
Easy question. Thanks, Pat. We are still kind of preliminarily looking at the program as is designed by Lionstone and Virginia Tech, and that's what we will be talking about over these next 30 days. As we understand the square footage implications, our discussions with the two partners thus far have indicated that Lionstone intends to build all of the FAR as modeled and envisioned for this site, and that the Virginia Tech educational building will be on top of that. There are some provisions within the plan that allow for public uses. So as we get those specific numbers, we'll be able to model them. Very conceptually, we were anticipating a 300,000 square foot educational building at Oakville Triangle not being on the tax rolls. That same building would now be built on a different site. And when we were able to run those models for Oakville Triangle, it very clearly showed that the catalytic impact, the increase in value, the speed to market that the entire project would be expedited, created so much additional value that it was an easy decision for us to say, yes, this is a smart investment on behalf of the city. We're going to be running those same numbers over the next 30 to 60 days as we work with our new partners, and we'll be able to share all of that data once we have it.
Thank you. Okay. I didn't say my name last time. Peggy Fox, WUSA 9, and Virginia Tech alum, and parent of a Virginia Tech engineering student, which brings me to this question. To Dr. Sands, number one, a big story that's been in the news is the numbers of kids coming to the Blacksburg campus and how freshmen are being paid to not come the first year, and the popularity of tech. Do you see the growth here at all, including any undergraduate students?
Well, on the first point, there's an interesting interplay between those two events, the announcement of the Innovation Campus in November and all the conversations leading up to this day to day, and the enrollment surge that we're seeing for the fall. They are related. We've interviewed some of the students who've accepted our offer to come to Virginia Tech more than we expected, and many of them cite the press that they've heard, the good news they've heard about Virginia Tech over the last several months. So there is a connection there. We will have some undergraduates here in the long run. Part of the attraction here for us is the proximity to partners who already offer internships, co-ops, other experiential learning opportunities for our students. We are building that into our curriculum for every student. So we're going to see, I think, hundreds of students who are undergraduates in Blacksburg rotate in for a semester or perhaps a year, pursuing their curriculum here while they're engaged in experiential learning with our partners.
Anybody else? Any other questions? If not, thank you all for coming, and I do invite you to the patio area if you want to get some shots outside in between raindrops. Thank you very much for coming.
Thanks, Mark.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Good job organizing all this.
Very nice.